Now on CoastTV News.
Federal frustration. Some government workers say a recent email is adding stress to an already tense workplace. Trespassing trouble. Why a local business says ignoring the signs could be dangerous. And charging forward. Milford Police roll out new electric cars. How the community is reacting.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
One email sparking some big reactions from government workers. Good evening, I'm Christina D. Robertus. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. We begin tonight with confusion in the federal workforce. This after a day of conflicting guidance about Elon Musk's email ultimatum. Every federal worker had until midnight Monday to email a list of what they accomplished last week. On social media Monday, Elon Musk said failure to respond would be considered a resignation. Well, now he's doubling down, giving workers another chance, but posting that failure to respond a second time will result in termination. Craig Wall got reaction from some federal workers ahead of the deadline.
Some people working in the Klaczynski Federal Building were walking on eggshells this morning. One 40-year Treasury Department veteran who works here and did not want to go on camera called the current climate overwhelming and mentally distressing. Across Jackson Street in the Metcalf Building, which houses the Region 5 offices of the EPA, employees are being told that they should respond to the email over the weekend that asked federal workers to reply with approximately 5 bullet points of what they accomplished last week.
The work shows what we're doing, and our supervisors hold us accountable to that standard that's in our position description, and this email is disrespectful and unwarranted.
This IRS employee said there is a lot of confusion in her office about how to reply, but she was not troubled by the request.
I worked on the audit and I wrote up the final report, and that's a lot to spend 4 days on.
But she also believes that the federal government does need to cut out some bloat.
If we're going to tackle the inflation and the deficit, we've got to cut. And I'm sorry people are going to get hurt, but everybody's suffering from inflation. So I feel bad for the government employees, but they're a small group versus the whole country.
And part of the DOGE plan is to sell off hundreds of government-owned buildings. Congressman Mike Quigley says the Klaczynski and Metcalf buildings are on the list.
The problem with this is you need a place where people work. The people who make sure we have clean air and water need a place to work. So there is a right sizing, but this isn't the way to do it. This is a sledgehammer when we really need a scalpel.
The work efficiency email causing morale in many offices to tank.
I think the undermining goal is, one, to demoralize us, to make us feel in a defensive position as if we're saying, we didn't do anything that serves the American people.
New tonight, Delaware State Police are investigating a crash that happened right here on Lewis-Georgetown Highway near Joseph's Road this afternoon. Troopers say a Subaru turned into the path of a Chevrolet Silverado around 12:20 p.m. and the impact sent the Subaru's driver to the hospital with serious injuries. The other driver was also hurt and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Also new at 11, Sussex County is forming a new group. It's called the Land Use Reform Working Group. It will be made up of about 10 people from different backgrounds, including developers, environmentalists, and housing advocates. Their goal is to manage rapid growth and development in Sussex County, and the group is expected to present their first ideas a bit later this year. Here's a live look outside now into Lewis, and our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us with a look at the weather. Paul, it was just so nice today.
And it's going to stay nice for the rest of the night and really going into tomorrow. We're going to have temperatures that are going to continue to escalate well above the norm for this time of the year. And we still have clear sailing as far as our precipitation and our situation is concerned. We're going to continue to enjoy mainly clearing skies for us throughout a good portion of the rest of the evening hours. As we widen the scope here, we have a bit of a trough that's going to begin to float and drift its way towards us. But I think it's relatively pedestrian. So we're going to see some cloud cover, and we'll hold off on that chance of rain until about Thursday. Then we'll do some more talking about this, Christina.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Well, the Milford Police Department recently purchased 3 brand new electric vehicles. And Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy is live in our newsroom with more. Brendan, people in the city have some concerns about the electric cars.
Christina, this is not a small purchase by any means. It's almost $200,000. And the idea is that the police department wanted to move away from the gas-powered cars this time and try the electric ones instead. But it has some people in Milford a little concerned about the environment and some other things. An electric approach for the Milford Police Department. Milford PD recently purchased 2 new trucks and 1 smaller-sized car, which you can see here. The cars will be used by administrators and civilian staff as take-home cars, but not by patrol officers. The cost of all 3 cars and the extra expenses included to get them up and running, $193,179. Kevin Alvarez lives in Milford and told Coast TV he doesn't think this was a necessary investment.
I do not like electric cars at all. I think it's just a waste of taxpayers' money,
And thinks they won't operate too well here on the coast.
When it's wintertime, cold weather and electric doesn't mix, condensation from the cold weather.
Timothy Sprung, on the other hand, says people should give these electric cars a chance.
I'm mildly in favor of it. Might as well try them out and see if they're worth keeping or worth getting more of.
When I spoke to one of the officers earlier, he told me that these cars are fully operational right now. They just want to get those last few checks done before any of these cars are taken home. An effort to provide more transportation for Milford Police while trying something new. Like I said, these new electric cars won't necessarily be used for patrolling or placing someone under arrest, but rather to bring those employees to and from the police station. In the newsroom, I'm Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
Okay, thank you for that, Brendan. Well, Hopkins Farm Creamery in Lewis is issuing a safety warning to visitors after a recent incident on their property. The business shared on social media that a couple was seen walking around the farm and ended up near an area where hunters were active. The creamery is reminding everyone to respect the no trespassing signs on their property. They say heavy machinery operates around the buildings and that hunting is very common there. Now to Ocean City. Have you ever been walking on the Ocean City Boardwalk and noticed some explicit merchandise being advertised? Well, the Ocean City Council now trying to stop that. They're considering a proposal that would fine business owners for displaying inappropriate merchandise at the storefront. The first fine would be $500, the second fine would be $1,000, and the third could cost an owner their business license. Now, some people on the boardwalk say it's a good idea, but they think the fine might be a little too expensive.
A warning first, and in case you have an employee working here like we do seasonally and they put it out front, give the owner a chance to get that straightened out.
The council had a work session today to go over this proposal, and they'll look at possibly making the changes official in the future. And this story brings us right to our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know what concerns you most about explicit merchandise. Let's take a look at the results here. Most people saying the impact on kids, 71% saying that, 21% saying tourism image, only 8% saying business rights are a concern. And we want to know what you think. It's not too late to vote, so go over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. A 3-year deal with the Rehoboth Beach Police Department and the city commissioners was signed last Friday. The deal includes a base salary increase of $64,000. They're bumping that up to $78,000. That goes along with 100% health care coverage and 80% coverage for officers' families. One woman in Rehoboth Beach says it's well deserved.
I think it's perfect. Because they're putting their life on the line every day for us, and they do deserve 100% coverage, as well as their families.
And this agreement will go into effect on April 1st. And we are just getting started tonight. Coming up ahead, an update on property reassessments in Sussex County and also tax exemptions for seniors in Sussex County, how the county is trying to maintain that practice with new property values.
And if you value some warm weather, we're going to have it in space with sunshine on Wednesday. It's still in the 60s with cloudy skies on Thursday. Then we start dropping off a bit. Is that a hint of things to come? I'll let you know coming up in 60 seconds.
These fields are empty now, but soon they'll be alive.
Some teams can only dream to play it because they can't afford it. And that is why Toyota is sponsoring Delmarva's Dream Team.
We're looking for teams from any sport and any level. Each month, your Delmarva Toyota dealer will give one local team a $1,000 grant. And after the year, one finalist will receive an additional $3,000.
Nominate your dream team at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
DSN's Delmarva's Dream Team, sponsored by your local Toyota dealer.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, flu season is here. What you need to know and how walk-in care centers can help if you get sick. Plus, meet an adorable pet looking for a loving home. Coast Life, tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
This is my legacy.
We are enjoying mainly clear skies for right now, and we've been really enjoying the warmer than usual conditions, and looks like we're going to continue to ride that wave into Wednesday, even Thursday, before we start to have to settle back into just a tinge of reality because we're still in the midst of the winter season. So we're totally clear at this particular point. The Delmarva Peninsula continue to stay cooperative with our desire to stay clear and crisp and warm. And so that's what we have going on at this point. We have a trough that's actually kind of meandering its way just to our west, and it's going to bring in some cloud cover possibly for us as we go into Wednesday evening. But most of Wednesday is going to actually end up being sunny. Now, we are a bit on the cool side. We're not cold. We're not uncomfortable, but we're, as far as winter is concerned, we're doing okay. I mean, we're talking about temperatures in the 40s in the middle of the night for us along the coast, and just 38 degrees, for example, right now in Georgetown and in Seaford. Now, we are a little bit cooler. I mean, 24 hours ago, we were a little bit warmer than we are right now, but that's okay. We're talking about 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 degrees cooler, 6 if you're up in the eastern area. Aside from that, I'd say it's pretty manageable for us to deal with. For tomorrow, abundant sunshine. Temperatures swelling into the 60s. 60 for Georgetown, Millsboro, Seaford, Harrington, Milford, as well as Laurel. Well, Laurel's actually going to be 2 degrees warmer than that at 62. In Cambridge, we're going to have 59 degrees there and 59 in Easton, 59 in Denton. Winds are pushing out of the northwest at about 10 miles per hour. We'll warm to 54 degrees in Ocean City, 59 for Berlin, Snow Hill, as well as Pocomoke City. So sunshine is on tap for tomorrow. Precipitation. We thought we'd have a better chance of precipitation for Thursday. It's dwindled down to 24%, but it's a solid 24% because the models are agreeing that we will get some rain in here. It's just going to be lickety-split fast, okay? We're looking at 1 o'clock. Just moved up the timeline here. From 1 o'clock going until, let's say, 3, but then the line moves through extremely fast and efficiently. And so Friday, we're actually cleared out. Even as we take a look at the most southern portions of our viewing area, we'll start seeing some rain begin to make its presence felt in the Salisbury, Princess Anne area by 2:30. And then after that, we are expecting for it to push through kind of quickly in the afternoon hours and not linger for a long period of time. Although in its wake, we'll have cloud cover that'll stay a bit on the thick side. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Extended forecast 62 to 63 to 52. Then we pop back to 63 on Saturday, but then reality strikes because it's still winter. So we're going to have at least 2 more cold days, Sunday and Monday. But after that, we bounce right back to 54 degrees.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Paul. Well, for those who are not familiar, all 3 Delaware counties right now are undergoing a court-ordered property reassessment. And it had been decades since the assessment was last updated. So in some cases, assessed values are going way, way up. In other cases, though, we're actually going down. But per state code, the county shall not collect more than 15% in property taxes compared to the year prior. New today, since the overall taxable assessed value is so much higher, the tax rate in Sussex County is going down substantially. In other words, don't panic about it, because even if your house value is a whole lot higher than it was, you're not going to have to pay a whole lot more in county taxes. The county has committed to staying revenue neutral. At a presentation today, Finance Director Gina Jennings showed how the current county property tax rate is 44.5 cents per $100 of value. But in order to stay revenue neutral so that they don't charge you a lot more money, the proposed tax rate will shrink down to 2.15 cents. In all, The same amount of tax revenue is coming in, it's just at a lower tax rate. And also worth noting, right now there's a property tax calculator where you can see what your estimated new tax will be in Sussex County. It does depend on your school district and your new assessed value, and you can find all that information on the county's website. Now, another smaller part of this is tax exemptions. Roughly 800 low-income seniors already have a tax break. Today, Sussex County worked to keep that exemption in line with the changing property assessments. Now, low-income seniors get up to $12,500 off their taxable assessment. With new assessed values, the county says that number could go all the way up to $229,000. Income restrictions will stay the same, so seniors applying for the exemption, they can't make more than $6,000 per year or $7,500 if they are married. Now, some seniors we spoke with about this say they're grateful for the tax relief.
Anything that can help seniors, especially people that don't have that cushion, don't have that income, they're maybe by themselves, a widow or a widower.
And this is, of course, a complicated story. There are some other tax programs, such as a disability veterans tax credit. We have all of the information, all of the links on our website, CoastTV.com. Coming up next, tax season tips. IRS layoffs could slow things down this year. What it means for your tax return. But first, Postal Service protest. Why letter carriers rallied at the nation's capital this week.
Make your home cozier than ever during Johnny Janosik's Winter Home Sale. Get $100 off every $9.99 you spend, plus up to 18 months no-interest financing. Shop the Winter Home Sale, going on now only at Johnny Janosic.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com now.
How many bottles of water do you drink every day? Wish you could get an endless supply of bottle-quality water right at your sink? You can with Shore Water Refining. For about $2 a day, you'll never need to buy another bottle of water. Our reverse osmosis system will take up less room than one case and save you time and money. And as a bonus, we'll install an emergency shutoff valve under your sink to protect you while you're away. Absolutely free. Call or visit us online at shorewaterde.com today to get started.
Shop Johnny Janosik's Mattress World now and get 2 free pillows, free sheet set, and free mattress protector with any sleep system purchase of $19.99 or more. Plus 0% APR for up to 48 months. Shop Johnny Janosik's Mattress World today.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
New developments tonight in the Trump administration's plan to dismantle U.S. aid. On Tuesday, a federal judge ordered the administration to pay foreign aid money owed to government contractors and nonprofit groups. The judge gave the administration until Wednesday night to comply. He issued a temporary restraining order on February 13th requiring the Trump administration to unfreeze State Department and U.S. aid funding. The administration still has not complied with that order. Postal workers gathered in Washington, D.C. today to protest a possible takeover of the U.S. Postal Service. The rally comes after reports that the recently confirmed Commerce Secretary plans to dissolve USPS leadership and fold the agency into the Department of Commerce. Now, according to two White House officials, no executive orders targeting the Postal Service are in the works, but they did say there have been talks about ways to make it more efficient along with the rest of the federal government.
Irrespective of political identification, American people understand the criticality of the Postal Service in their lives, and they're not going to allow Donald Trump and Elon Musk to mess with it. Not now, not ever.
The USPS reported a net profit of $144 million for the first quarter of this fiscal year, and it's the first time the agency has posted a profit since 2006. That's according to the Pew Research Center. Well, tax season is in full swing, and it's collided with headlines about IRS layoffs and cuts. So what does that mean for your return and your refund? Well, Karen Kafa is in Washington with what taxpayers need to know.
Last week, the IRS was expected to start layoffs of more than 6,000 employees as part of the Trump administration's broader cuts to the federal workforce at the agency's busiest time of year.
We know that when the IRS is understaffed, as it was in the 2010s, it makes refunds slower. It means they have a hard time answering their phones if you've got questions.
Vanessa Williamson, a senior fellow in governance studies at the Brookings Institution, says the cuts could impact important taxpayer resources.
There's some evidence that a lot of the cuts are going to come to people who help small business owners, who have some of the most complicated taxes of anyone. So if you haven't filed, I recommend you file as soon as possible.
Tom O'Sabin, Director of Tax Content and Government Relations at the National Association of Tax Professionals, says amid leaner IRS staffing, taxpayers should try to limit the need for person-to-person contact with the agency.
What it means is if there's any possibility to electronically file your return, do so. Whether you're using a tax professional or you're filing or you're on your own, or you use the direct file system, which is relatively new at the IRS, try to submit your return electronically.
O'Sabin adds that careful preparation can also minimize omissions and errors that could take longer to correct. And no matter the headlines, he says, to complete that return.
In reading a lot of these social media posts and the like, there's been some talk about waiting to file or don't bother to file. I think that's a fool's recommendation.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Each and every Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend. Coast TV brings you the best of the community straight to your inbox, and you can sign up for free at coasttv.com/signup. Coming up in sports tonight, Cambridge South Dorchester basketball searching for their second straight Bayside Conference title over Stephen Decatur. And screening struggle, why some women are paying out of pocket for life-saving tests.
Here's a look at your evening planner. We're looking forward to stay clear overnight with winds staying calm, primarily pushing out of the north, and we'll start off with some sunshine early tomorrow morning.
Coast TV News can be heard on Big 107.7.
Toyota has been manufacturing in America for over 50 years. Now with 10 manufacturing and assembly plants, pushing Toyota's investment in the U.S. to $48 billion. And relying on companies right here to supply $29 billion a year in parts, components, goods, and services. Which means over 100,000 good American jobs. So if buying American is important to you, see your Toyota dealer. Let's go places.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
Bringing stuff to people at home that will change their lives or change the lives of the community is important. And while it's nice when we talk about the big national stories, the reason we're here is to connect people with what's going on right on Delmarva, and it's a very interesting community. It's not like a lot of other places, so you need that connection.
Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
A close call this morning at Chicago's Midway Airport. A Southwest Airlines plane avoided a collision with a private jet, and officials with the carrier say the flight crew was forced to perform a go-around in order to prevent a crash. A Southwest spokesperson adds the flight was able to land on the airport's runway without incident. While millions of women are at risk for breast cancer, but their insurance companies don't cover additional screenings that are often recommended to detect the disease.
Regular breast cancer screenings for women over the age of 40 save lives. But over half of those women need more than just the annual mammogram because they are considered high risk, according to the American Cancer Society. And that's when the battle with health insurance begins.
How many women in your family have gotten breast cancer?
4.
4.
My grandmother, my mother, my sister, and then we recently had another person in the family diagnosed.
Given that history, what do doctors advise you do for screenings?
I am supposed to have a mammogram every 6 months.
Molly Smith's private insurance, like many plans, only covers the annual. A second mammogram, she says, could mean hundreds of dollars out of pocket. It's a similar story for women with dense breasts. Last year, the FDA ruled that mammogram providers need to tell women if they fall in that category, because they should consider getting additional screenings as well, including ultrasounds.
We're seeing a lot of patients now where insurance isn't covering, and so these patients are stuck.
Dr. Madhvi Raghu is a radiologist in Connecticut. Some of her patients are on Medicare.
Medicare covers mammograms, but the ultrasound is not covered.
Is that a change?
It is a change because, prior to that, it was not an issue as it is now.
She provided NBC News with patient records showing their reimbursements for the newly recommended procedure were declined. Medicare says ultrasounds are covered when provided as a diagnostic test, meaning if something suspicious has already been found. But for women with dense breasts, Dr. Raghu says the test is needed to see if something is suspicious.
It's disheartening because sometimes I've seen patients develop cancers
that you could have caught.
That we could have caught, that are aggressive. And it's a very different conversation at that time.
What else do you need?
When Smith went in for her first mammogram, she had to get multiple additional tests and says she ended up paying roughly $1,000, even though no cancer was found. Worried she would go through it again, she just didn't go back. For 2 years.
If you want people to be able to take care of themselves, you've got to make it easier. You've got to make it so that it's affordable and something that you can do on a regular basis.
Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Moving to sports tonight, the best in the Bayside hoping to hoist the conference. Here's the Delmarva Sports Network's Michelle Roberts.
A highly anticipated rematch between Stephen Decatur and Cambridge South Dorchester boys basketball in the Bayside Conference Championship. The Vikings hoping to earn their second straight title over the Seahawks. Both squads coming in unbeaten in conference play. In the first quarter, David Chandler driving to the hoop, getting the bucket and one. Seahawks trailing by 1, but not for long, as senior Noah Tucker puts his squad in the lead 7-5. About a minute later, CSD ball, Kobe Enos to Thomas Wilson, drills the 3, Vikings down by 1. About 30 seconds left in the first frame. Caleb Loring with the rebound, cleaning up the loose change for the Seahawks, 11-8 Decatur. In the second quarter, Vikings responding. Ennals knocking it down from deep. CSD behind by 5. 1 minute remaining before half. Decatur on defense. Jonathan Purnell anticipating the pass, taking it away, and off to the basket he goes, floating in the finish on the other end, putting Decatur up 26-19. Decatur leading 28-19 at half, and the Seahawks take this championship 60-48, earning their second conference title in program history and first since 2017. Davin Chandler leading all scorers with 30 points in this game. The Seahawks going undefeated in conference play and advancing to 20-1 on the season. For full highlights from the boys and girls basketball Bayside Championships, visit DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. Reporting from Salisbury, Maryland for DSN, I'm Michelle Roberts.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app today.
You need to lose weight, but you hate lugging out that big blender for a healthy shake. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. Designed like this shake bottle you take to the gym, it has the motor and blades built right into the lid. Bionic Blade quickly creates smooth drinks just like the big blenders. But this is portable, so you can make a shake anywhere. Make pina coladas right by poolside. Even grind coffee beans and make a quick, refreshing iced coffee pick-me-up on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, order now and get 2 sipping lids, a second large blender container, plus the sports lid. Yours free. You'll get this entire portable blending system for just $29.99. Call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-709-7148 or go to buybionicblade.com. So call 1-800-709-7148 or you can order online at buybionicblade.com.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back, even if the paper is held up to the light. Even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-803-0512. That's 1-800-803-0512. Or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-803-0512 now.
DSN Plus is more action. 4 additional live stream games every weeknight and full replays on demand. DSN Plus is more local. 5 live games every weeknight, showcasing high school showdowns and regional rivalries across Delmarva. DSN Plus is more access. Watch on your mobile devices, and remember, DSN is still free over the air and on cable. But get more with DSN Plus, just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app store today.
Here's something cool. The Blue Ghost lunar lander has shared some stunning close-up visuals of the moon. Take a look here. The spacecraft's images show the moon's far side, which is actually not visible from Earth. They show the moon's rocky surface dotted with impact craters and boulders, and Blue Ghost will attempt a moon landing on March 2nd.
Take a look at our Bay Health camera, and Milford, we're at 38 degrees actually, with a dew point temperature of 31. We'll stay in the 30s for the rest of the night with mainly clear skies in the Milford area. Our umbrella giveaway winner is actually Amanda Mills of Seaford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Now, you can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalas, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're going to go to 62 again tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. We'll stay in the 60s for Thursday going into Friday. But then as we go into Saturday, we'll see, once again, a nice warm day. But then we drop precipitously for Sunday and Monday, with the cold weather making at least one more comeback before we start talking about time changes and season changes and any changes.
Okay, thanks again, Paul, and thanks to you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For some more local news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.